Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Adi Rawan. So we are from a group SIG. By the way, I am Faris. This is our group mates. So we start on introduction first. So what is the fourth industrial revolutions? The fourth industrial revolution is a way of describing of blurring of boundary between the physical, digital, and biological world. It's a fusion of the advance in artificial intelligence (AI), robotic, the Internet of Things (IoT), 3D printing, genetic engineering, quantum computing, and others technology. Before we go details, I will share a little bit about the era revolution technology. The first industrial revolution happened between the late 1700s and be more focusing on manual labor performed by people and aided by work animal. On the second industrial revolutions happened around 20th century, be more focusing on introduction of steel and use of electricity in factory. On the third industrial revolution, starting in the late 1950, emphasis on the analog and mechanical technology and more on digital technology and automation software. For the fourth industrial revolution happened few decades, focusing on digital technology from recent decade to whole new level. That's it from me. I'll pass to another presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Akib. So I will proceed to the first question, which is, should the technology be developed in the first place? The answer is yes. We live in a time when revolutionary scientific power are capable of altering the human race very character and dramatically replacing the planet itself. These new abilities have enormous potential for healing and preventing disease, increasing agricultural output and improving quality of life in variety of ways. However, no technology is without flaws, and the fourth industrial revolution capabilities are no exception. To prove it, we must ensure that governing bodies and public debate address four essential issues. Answering this problem will necessitate scientific input as well as willingness to explore the ethical and social ramifications of the choice we face. For example, a proposed restriction on autonomous deadly weapons or military robot is now being considered. There has yet to be a case of a lethal autonomous weapon selecting and destroying its own target without the involvement of humans in the decision-making process. However, many experts believe that this possibility will materialize in the near future unless a global ban is enacted shortly. Another example is geoengineering, which is the application of technology to change planetary circumstances, most commonly the climate, in order to prevent global warming. Because one nation state may implement climate change that are favorable to itself but harmful to others, this is a truly global issue that requires a collaborative approach. Proposal to populate the stratosphere with nanoparticles, for example, pose unknown but potentially significant risk to the world as a whole. Science may or may not be able to quantify danger, but even if it can, determining how much risk we should accept, if any, is not something science alone can answer. In the end, it is a moral judgment we will have to make as a group. So that's all for me. For the next question, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Anwar Birijimi. My metric number is EC18158. Now I will continue for my part, which is question 2. If a technology is going to proceed, to what end should it be deployed? According to the founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, in his book The Fourth Industrial Revolution, it described the fourth industrial revolution marked by the emergence of supercomputers, smart robots, driverless vehicles, genetic editing, and the development of neurotechnology that allow humans to further optimize brain function. In other words, human life will be simplified with the help of robots that will become friends who will manage daily affairs and tasks. In addition, all household chores such as washing clothes, feeding pets, and turning off the air conditioner just need to press a button on their smartphone without having to bother to hire a maid. The scenario, though strange, has slowly begun to evolve and evolve. into a common form of normal in the future. Although these technologies are still in the testing stage globally, many of the application use we have already enjoyed. For example, the use of navigation application such as Waze or Google Maps that provide drivers with road and travel information are among the early seeds to the introduction of a world called the Internet of Things or IoT. During the fourth industrial revolution, there will be a wide variety of so-called human enhancement on offer. Some will focus on eliminating disease, others may extend human capacities and we wish to promote or reduce such a greater athletic ability, greater memory, or less aggressive behavior. Rather than making endorsement or prohibitions about enhancements in general, each type should be considered as a case by case, based in terms of how likely it to advance or diminish human flourishing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Habri bin Mazuki. Next, following the third four big ethical questions of the fourth industrial revolution is, if the technology is to go forward, how it should proceed. It is really matters on how a technology is researched and how it enters the world. To understand better, let's take a gene drive as an example. The National Academy of Science, Engineering and Medicine in the United States has recently issued a landmark report that takes a precautionary approach to the use of gene drives. So what is gene drives and why is it matters to take the precautionary approach to the gene drives? Gene drives are technologies which, in combination with CRISPR, Cas9 gene editing, which are capable to exponentially increase the prevalence of specific genetic elements in a whole population of certain kinds of wild plants or animals. Basically, it can be used as a way of controlling or even eradicating. So, as this is a good application on mosquitoes for its disease vector for human illness like malaria and Zika, it may causing the extinction of a species. So it is important to have precaution steps. In the National Academy's report, it actually encouraged the development of gene drive technology, but it calls for carefully paced research, first in the laboratory setting and small field studies before engineered organisms are released into the wild. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Lim Wei Kian. My metric number is EA18104. Okay, now we move to question number 4, which is once a norm have been set, and how will the field be monitored to ensure the adherence? So nowadays, we know there is many guidelines for many aspects of research and technology diffusion, but at the same time, there is a serious gap in our ability to monitor the adherence or hold back actor accountable. Let's take an example. There are some regulation for the management of some kind of toxic chemical, but extremely inadequate found for regulatory staff to monitor and inspect the chemical site. Government's mechanism for the 21st century will have to grapple with what areas need mandatory regulation and how to enforce them. Okay, now we move to another one, which is operation efficiency. We use the operational efficiency to ensure the adherence. By using the sensor, we can gather all the details insight into how their machinery and processes are operating. IoT can also help improvement maintenance process and predict maintenance, which can identify maintenance issues in the real time and allow machinery owner to perform cost-effective maintenance before the malfunctioning technology becomes critically damaged. Let's take an example. The company decided to install IoT sensor in the warehouse to monitor how the staff pick and place goods on the shelf, analysis on the data from the sensor, how that forklift driver are taking 30% longer journeys than necessary. This data is actions and new routes are device and productivity increase with minimum investment.
Hi again, I'm Faris. Last but not least, if we do not prepare in advance, we face severe risks, losing tremendous power to machines, risk altering the course of humanity without fully understanding the consequences, and massive inequality between the techno-super-rich and large underclass. Therefore, all these concerns must be openly discussed and resolved. In short, everybody must take care of our society and planet Earth, ensuring the technology of the fourth industrial revolution are implemented safely and ethically for everyone's benefit. Thank you to Dr. Adi Irawan.